start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy 0.1 are the different types of mobile device, smartphones, and tablets, substitutes or complements. Let's explore this question by considering the case of Madeline and Alexandra, two users of these devices. Madeleine Alexandra. Madeline uses her tablet to take notes in class. Madeleine. These notes are synced to her smartphone wirelessly, via a cloud computing service, allowing Madeline to review her notes on her phone during the bus trip home. Madeleine. Alexandra uses both her phone and tablet to surf the internet, write emails, and check social media. Alexandra. Both of these devices allow Alexandra to access online services when she is away from her desktop computer. Alexandra. For Madeline, smartphones and tablets are complements. Madeleine. She gets greater functionality out of her two devices when they are used together. For Alexandra, they are substitutes. Alexandra. Both smartphones and tablets fulfill more or less the same function in Alexandra's life. Alexandra. This case illustrates the role that an individual consumer's behavior plays in determining the nature of the relationship between two goods or services. Reading. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy 0.01 In America today, there is an ever-growing need to know more about money. And money is different today than it was a few decades ago. Today, it is more a concept than a reality. We don't see silver dollars. Our government doesn't issue currency based on gold anymore. We spend our money with credit cards. And we have our paychecks deposited into our bank account automatically. We hardly ever see money. The way most of us thought about money as children does not work in our lives today. When we were kids, most of us knew where our money was. It was either in our pocket or in our piggy bank. So, we need some new ways to deal with money we can't see. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy 0.02 After you have decided to make a purchase, at least two scarce resources are involved, income and time. Before you spend your money, you need to invest time in obtaining information about the product you wish to buy. Suppose, for example, that you wish to buy a mountain bike. How can you obtain information about the characteristics of the numerous brands and models and the prices of each bike? You should first visit retail stores and do some research on the internet to compare prices. The time spent researching online or visiting stores to check models and prices is a cost to you. This time, and the money you eventually spend on the mountain bike, cannot be used for anything else. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy 0.03 One of the greatest achievements of the honeybee is the ability to acquire and retain knowledge, and then to communicate that information to others. Worker bees learn about the location of food sources, scout out new ecosystems that will sustain them, identify the presence of danger, and then are able to communicate that knowledge to others through dance. The course of human evolution has also selected the best storytellers and the best listeners as the strongest survivors. The same is true for business today. The ability to understand the lessons of your business and tell a story that imparts this wisdom to others in your company, as well as your customers, is paramount to survival and success. Today's businesses must be able to learn, adjust, and then tell a story that inspires others to action. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy 0.04 In The Great Transformation, Polanyi wrote about the Trobriand Islands, off Papua New Guinea, whose tribal economy was driven by non-economic behavior in striking ways. The Great Transformation, Polanyi Papua New Guinea Trobriand. Trade, even today, happens through gifts, not by bargaining. Icelanders make dangerous voyages to neighboring tribes to give presents of red shell necklaces and white armbands, and the practice is regulated by customs and magical rites known as kula. Kula. The gifts are not kept, but passed on. By showing generosity, the Icelanders enhance their social standing. The drive for status, not profit, is the motor of trade. Tribal economies are, of course, different from those of today's industrialized countries. Polanyi argued that as European nations developed, custom and tradition were replaced by the anonymity of the market. Polanyi. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy 0.05. An item you buy each week goes on sale. The store adds to the discounting possibilities by running a promotion, perhaps offering greater savings if you buy 3 or more. And you will save even more if you have coupons for the item. To the strategic shopper, this is like New Year's Eve and the 4th of July rolled into one. 123174. Don't light any firecrackers, but do celebrate by stocking up when these off-price opportunities combine for ultimate savings. If you stock up when prices are at their lowest, you keep your costs consistent. Even after prices return to normal, you'll be able to shop your freezer and continue to enjoy items bought at the sale price. Once this becomes a habit, you'll win CE at the very notion of paying the full price. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy 0.06. The practical impact on business of the growth in technology is illustrated by the fact that as recently as 10 years ago, information, including pricing on many different types of machinery and commodity products, was highly inefficient. 10. It was difficult to know exactly what each firm would charge for its product and what the price would be for other firms. A businessperson could call and ask the price for that product. Whether the price was the same if you called a different salesperson in a different part of the month was not predictable. The result was that widely different prices were charged for the same products. Purchasing agents spent a lot of time looking for the best price. However, changes in telecommunications have all but eliminated this inefficiency. Internet availability has resulted in more transparent and efficient pricing for both capital goods and commodity products today. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy 0.07. Auctions have been used since the ancient past. For instance, the Roman Empire was once sold at auction. Today, auctions are seemingly pervasive. The institution is used to sell a variety of agricultural commodities and natural resources as well as fine art, real estate, and used cars. In addition, sealed bid tenders, an auction format, are used extensively by both firms and governments to procure a variety of goods and services such as weapons systems and tree planting services. The Internet auction house eBay is an integral part of the American and world economies. eBay. By any measure, the volume of trade on eBay and similar sites is unparalleled in world history. eBay. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy 0.08. People choose to become self-employed for a variety of reasons, independence and flexibility being the primary ones. Being your own boss can potentially offer you a better work/life balance. It is also true that improved quality of life and increased job satisfaction are important aspects of going self-employed. However, the risk is that there can be a huge amount of responsibility involved, and a regular paycheck at the end of the month cannot be guaranteed. Running a business has lots of responsibilities and pressures. People creating a startup especially need to work a lot harder to establish themselves than those who are already in the market, until they are seen and heard well enough for the consumer to buy from them. Therefore, you need to work as hard as it takes to become known. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy 0.09. Global companies specialize by producing a lot of one thing, which they then sell to communities who become dependent on distant sources of specialized production. Distant companies seek only profitable investment of capital. There is no business interest in sustaining communities. In the era of free trade, the global economy is determined to remove any restrictions that impede this process of exploitation. Cobb asks an important question from what is this free market or free trade free? Cobb. The restrictions that the global economy seeks to remove, he writes, will make possible still higher degrees of specialization and will further discourage efforts of local communities or nations to supply most of their own needs. Capital will move freely throughout the world to those places where it can be most profitably invested. Labor, which cannot move as freely, will be at an increasing disadvantage. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy No. 10. Options are con artists. They seduce with a promise of joy, but often leave us confused and wanting. Consider this experiment conducted a few years ago by marketing professors Deborah Viana Thompson, Rebecca Hamilton, and Roland Rust. Deborah Viana Thompson, Rebecca Hamilton, Roland Rust. When they offered consumers a choice of different digital devices, video players, PDAs, and the like, some 6 in 10 picked the option with the most features. PDA. Also, when given the chance to customize their device, the average person chose 20 features out of a possible 25. 2520. But when actually using their new gizmos, most consumers quickly fell prey to what the researchers call feature fatigue, that is, they quickly tired of using all those extras, if they even figured out how to. In their paper, the researchers discuss our tendency, when buying, to value capability over usability. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy No. 11. Consumer perceptions play an important role in the use of price-related tactics. Remember that for consumers to perceive two prices as different, the variation must be at or above the just noticeable difference. Thus, consumers might not care if one brand of toothpaste is priced at $1.95 and another at $1.99. 1.95 1.99. Consumers also compare a product's price with an internal reference price for such products that is based on past prices paid, competing product prices, and other factors, including incidental products in some cases. Typically, consumers use a range of prices rather than a single price point when they think of products. In addition, perceptual processes play a role in the consumer's reaction to different price points. Research has consistently indicated that consumers perceive odd prices, those ending with an odd number, as significantly lower than even prices, those ending with an even number. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Chapter 8 Business and Economy No. 12. The old wisdom about first impressions, that they're so important because you never get a second chance to make one, is even truer than most people realize. Once an idea sets in your head, it often sets in concrete. You can break it, but you may need a sledgehammer. In fact, we'd guess that confirmation bias might have a lot to do with the commonly held retailing wisdom that shoppers usually end up buying the first item they look at when they are out shopping. We don't know for certain if that's actually true, but if it is, there's a good chance that it's because an initial attraction to, say, a particular pair of pants results in a subsequent dismissal of other pants as you walk through the aisles. Perhaps the next pair you examine, though it has the same color, doesn't seem to have as attractive a cut.